We've had about 2 weeks now to experience Pokemon's newest Japanese set, Shiny Treasures EX. Let's talk about it. But before we get into that, I just want to thank you for being here, watching my first ever YouTube video. You may recognize me from over on TikTok, where I mainly focus on Pokemon breaks. I want to get into YouTube so we can actually talk more about the hobby. I want to talk more about collecting, the financials, breaks, all kinds of stuff. So if that is the kind of content that you want to see more of, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, leave a comment. It's going to help a ton on this brand new video, on this brand new channel. So thank you for being here, and let's get into it. This set launched in Japan with a price of $40. If you wanted it in the United States on launch weekend, I was seeing prices anywhere from around $80 to around $120. That's pretty typical with a new Japanese set launch, especially one that was as popular as this one with the Shiny Treasures EX. This set featured a ton of original shiny variants of Pokemons. There was some awesome chases. Pokemon put Charizard in it, so you know that's obviously going to make it an expensive set. This set launched with about 360 total cards in the entire set, making it pretty difficult to complete the master set. We've opened probably about 3 cases on my live stream, and the pull rates are extremely, extremely tough. To get some of the certain tiny shiny Pokemon, we were seeing maybe 1 in a case. We may not even see 1 in a case. Sometimes it took 2 or 3 cases before we saw 1 shiny Pokemon. One in particular I can remember is the Snorlax. We've only probably seen 2 of those. Pikachu was also really tough to pull. From a breaking standpoint, whenever a new Japanese high-class set comes out, they are my absolute favorite sets to open live. They're only 10 packs. Every pack has a hit in it. And there is also special packs inside of it that are called God packs. And these are only in these special high-class sets. Because the set is so in demand and so popular to open, the prices have literally been a roller coaster ride since its launch. Some cards have gone up, some cards have gone down. It's crazy. We're going to dive into it. We're going to check out the top 5 cards, see how they kind of were at launch, see where they're at now, check out their graded price. So the current top chase of Shiny Treasures right now is the Iono SAR, number 350 out of 190. This card has been sitting around $400 to around $455 since this came out. There might have been a couple comps around $500 when it first launched, but this is kind of where it's settled over the past 2 weeks. These 2 most recent eBay comps are from a couple days ago, $455, and then one with a little more, a little closer to $500. We currently don't have any graded PSA 10 comps, so we don't really know where that card is going to fall. I would assume with the holidays that may have caused a delay in grading, but we should see some of those hitting the market over the next couple weeks. If I would have had to predict or guess a price, I would say this card will probably sit around $1,000 in a PSA 10, but we'll have to see how the market unfolds when those returns start to come back. Everyone's favorite Fire Lizard is back as the number 2 chase out of Shiny Treasure EX. I'm personally not a huge fan of the terrestrialization cards, but I will say this card does look really nice in person. The texture's cool. It pops right off the card. It looks pretty sick. Any Charizard collector is going to want to add this to their collection. Similar to the Iono, we still don't have any PSA 10 comps, but again, those will probably come in over the next couple weeks. But currently, raw, we have a comp on December 15th for $275. On December 15th, another one for around $256. So the card seems to be sitting around the $250 to $275 range. When we see those PSA 10 returns, it'll probably be around a $500 to $600 card. But again, that's a prediction. We'll have to see what actually happens. The number 3 chase of Shiny Treasures currently is the Gardevoir EX SAR, which is, in my opinion, the best looking card of the entire set. I know Gardevoir doesn't have as many fans as Charizard does, so it'll probably not be as expensive, but it is a pretty cool card. Currently, it's sitting at around $115 to $130, which is pretty good considering a box costs around $80. So if you manage to snag this card out of a box, you would come up with a W. It is a pretty tough card to pull. We've probably pulled 2 or 3 of them live in a total of 2 to 3 cases. So each case has 20 boxes, 20 booster boxes, by the way, so you can understand that. It's pretty tough to pull. Still no graded data, but I can predict this card will probably be around 200 to 300 in a PSA 10. The number 4 card to come out of Shiny Treasures EX is going to be the Mew SAR number 347 out of 190. This card is awesome. Honestly, I love the art style on it. It's totally different. I love the like cartoony aspect of it. This card in person also looks really sweet. The hollow pattern for the inside bubble is different than the outside hollow pattern, so it really looks really nice in person and makes the card look pretty cool. We do have a couple comps for this card raw. It's sitting at around $115 to around $135. We don't have any PSA graded data for it yet, but I can predict it's probably be about a $300 card in a 10. It's pretty tough to pull. We've only managed to get 1 from 3 cases, so I could see this card going up in value simply because everybody loves Mew, and it's also really hard to pull. Rounding out the top 5 is going to be the Penny SAR number 354 out of 190. This card I personally have never pulled. We haven't seen this card at all yet. I've pulled everything else from the set, including 2 God packs, but this Penny, for some reason, I cannot seem to get. The cool thing about this card is it has Umbreon in the front, so I can see the price increasing on this card because there's a lot of Umbreon collectors, especially after the Umbreon VMAX from Evolving Skies exploded in popularity. Another cool aspect of this card is the trainers feature the Pokeball in the center of the card. Each different trainer card has kind of the Pokeball in a different position, so if you have them all next to each other, they look kind of cool. This card is currently comping for around $70 to $95, but given how tough it is to pull and how many Umbreon fans there are, I would honestly say this is a pretty good price for this card. I can see it increasing very easily. So that's going to run the top 5 cards of Shiny Treasure EX. We'll revisit this in a couple weeks with graded data to see where the first PSA 10s kind of sell. So once those start returning, probably after the holidays, we'll get into that video and see how that lines up. My overall opinion on this set, I would say that it's a great set. The Japanese high-class sets always do well long-term. That's sealed. Talking about strictly as a sealed collector. Right now, you can pick them up for a fabulous price. I've seen prices from $60 all the way to $80. Usually, these boxes sit around $100, $120. If we look at Shiny Star V or VMAX Climax or V-Star Universe, all of those sets have done well. This is basically the same thing, just with a couple different variants of cards. I will say this one will probably do better because it does feature original Pokemon as the tiny shinies, so I can see that doing pretty good in the future. That's going to be it for my first YouTube video. If you made it this far, I appreciate you watching the whole thing. I would love to hear what you guys think. I would love to hear what you guys want to see more videos about, so feel free to leave some comments. And honestly, I need the help in producing content, so let me know what you guys want to see, and I'd love to make videos for it. If you want to watch some live breaks, feel free to check out my TikTok. We go live every Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday to do live breaks, where we definitely will be opening a bunch of Shiny Treasure EX. So if you want to check the set out, feel free to pop over there. Thank you again so much for being here, and we'll see you next time.